The girl noticed something odd. A red line appeared above her head, but she couldn't grab it no matter how hard she tried. Just then, her uncle came home from work. The girl was so scared that she immediately ran back to her room, leaving her uncle bewildered and clueless about what had happened. To uncover the secret of the red line, she promptly went out to the street. The clever girl quickly understood what was going on. The number of red strings represented how many times that person had been involved with others, and if two people's red lines were connected, it meant they had been intimate. Sana was utterly shocked, not expecting that the glasses she had picked up by chance would have such a magical function. Little did he know he wasn't alone in knowing this secret. At first only Suyeon could see the red lines. As a child, he didn't get what they meant, just found them interesting. So, Suyeon drew the lines he saw, but when his mom saw them, she was devastated because they connected his dad and aunt. In a rage, his mom stabbed his dad to death. After that, she left Suyeon and vanished without a trace. As Suyeon grew up, he finally got the secret of the red lines, but felt what he saw was the dirtiest side of people. So he climbed over the railing and jumped down from the building, but how could a fall from the third floor be fatal? Then Suyeon tried to commit suicide by slitting her wrists, but she didn't succeed in dying. Since fate allowed her to live, Suyeon decided to stop thinking about dying, at least until she figured out how these red lines were created, and who else could see them besides her. From then on, Suyeon began to live a solitary life, sealing her home tightly with cardboard to avoid seeing the red lines on others' heads. However, every morning she would still take a look at the outside world. Across the street, Officer Han had dozens of red lines on his head, while her niece, Sana, had only one, which was quite impressive for a high school student. A new neighbor moved in today across the street, and he too had 9 red lines on his head. When the girl waved hello, Suyeon quickly shut the window, avoiding making friends. Later, Suyeon wore sunglasses to watch TV, as the characters on TV also had visible red lines. At that moment, Wenlin suddenly remembered that Suyeon saw on the intercom that the girl from across the street had come over to deliver fruit, but Suyeon never opened the door for strangers. This girl was quite talkative. She sat on the stairs and started chatting away. However, after half an hour, the door still didn't open. Reluctantly, the girl had to leave the fruit behind and go. Little did she know, Suyeon's fate would change because of her. Not long after, Suyeon nervously opened the door and carefully brought the fruit inside, which turned out to be 3 peaches. Not eating them would be wasteful. The next day, the girl brought more fruit, this time big apples. While Suyeon was eating the apples and watching TV, she suddenly discovered a secret. The news reported a murder nearby, and on TV, a man with a helmet looked suspicious. Suyeon knew having hundreds of red lines on one's head was rare, but this man had just one, which was odd. Plus, he was eavesdropping at the crime scene. That night, Suyeon was shocked to see the helmeted man going to the girl's house across the street, so she hurried back to grab her phone. By the time he reached the girl's house, Suyeon called the police, but barely said 2 sentences. They found the girl and another person fighting, but it was a false alarm. Now the man had 2 red lines on his head. The next day, Officer Han visited to ask Suyeon about clues from her report, but after knocking for a while, no one answered. Then, a man with glasses came down from upstairs. Officer Han kept questioning Chiliang, and Suyeon opened the door for a stranger for the first time. She thought the girl across the hall was in danger, but found out they were a couple. In the evening, Officer Han and his colleague were in the duty room. They glanced at the deceased's ex-boyfriend's photo and instantly sent